Today's gonna be Get Ready With Me. I had some red eyeshadow on maybe around a few days before Halloween, I think. Oh, it's the day of the meet and greet, the little mini meet and greet with Joan, Dre, Kenny, Whitney, and Terry at Dongdaemun. And a lot of people were asking me what palette I was using, and also later on in the evening I went to Treasure Hunter for this new, and then later in the evening I went to Treasure Hunter's new office because they were having a sort of Halloween party slash like housewarming. So a Korean subscriber there was like asking me to get ready with me with the eyeshadow. So it's a palette that I bought, but I haven't showed on camera yet, so I'm gonna use it today. Oh wait, it would help to show you the fucking palette. It's this one, the Wine Party palette. There were some people asking me about what I think about it, and isn't this fucking gorgeous? Look at that. Look at that. The quality though, we'll talk about that later. First I need to prime my eyes. Same Smashbox one. I'm gonna have to get another bottle because, not that I'm running out, I'm still like more than halfway full on that. But I'm going to California this week, so I wanna pick some of that up. I definitely recommend using an eye primer though if you're gonna use this palette, because it's very like, I don't know about Etude house shadows. Like the single shadows are amazing, but when they're in the palette, they're a little like hit or miss. And not that they're terrible, it's just that you do have to work at them a little bit. I honestly wish I could just like film videos like this all the time, but then it would be a waste to have like all these studio lights and like my background and everything. And I like reviewing things, but I prefer to have it in a more like professional setting if I'm doing like a review, as much as these kinds of videos are easy and fun to record. So the concept that I'm going for today is I'm gonna be wearing all black, right? And I'm going to Joan's meet and greet again later on in the afternoon, actually in a few hours. So the concept I'm going for is kind of like very vampy vibes, I guess. I'm wearing all black, so I think it would look good up against all that anyway. So I'm gonna start with maybe just a mix of these two right here. If I'm using them as base shadow, I really don't see that much of a difference between the two. So I kind of just dip into both because I feel like a makeup artist. And that way I get to actually use the shadow. See, the annoying thing about it's not annoying. The one thing about having my eye shape is that I can actually get away with a lot of makeup on my eyes, but it doesn't look that like harsh. But I have to be careful with what kind of colors I use, because with my eye shape I can easily look really tired. So like you see I put like eyeshadow all the way up here, but when I open my eyes it's kind of doesn't look like much. At least I think it doesn't. And then I put a little bit of the lighter color and kind of just run that a little bit down here. I'm not gonna see it, but it's okay. And then as a base shadow over the lid, I'm actually gonna go into that red and the really pretty. I feel like that's the color that really sets this palette, because if you take that color out, it kind of just looks like a regular run-of-the-mill palette, but when you put that shit in there, oh honey, wine party! So this red is actually pretty strong, even with a brush. Oh, bitch. Okay, bitch, alright. Kind of blend that into the first, technically two colors. Oh, great. I'm sorry, is this way too bright? I apologize. No, it doesn't make much difference. Okay. It's gonna look really stark and harsh, but this is one of those looks where you have to wait till like the very end, which is very exciting. Isn't that very exciting when it comes to makeup? That's why I love like watching Get Ready With Me, where you have like the before and after, and it's like a stark before and after. And now I'm gonna take a pencil brush that's kind of dense, and I'm gonna dip into this color right here. I think that's what I used. I'm trying to remember what I did on my eye, because it's not coming. Well, I can't think of. Oh honey, against that red it's not dark enough, so I'm gonna dip into this one as well. I'm gonna mix the two. There we go. It isn't that, it's kind of hard to see, but it just adds an extra dimension to the outer part of the eye. And running whatever's left down here. Okay, let's take, how would you describe this color? It's kind of like a caramely sort of shade. I'm gonna take that on my finger and place this on the inner corner, or inner half of the eye. And I feel like that just adds, like, it kind of, I don't know how to describe that. It adds a little bit of like glow to that red, I think. The red itself is already pretty, what is it? Not satin, what's the finish? It's kind of like is it satin? Satin, it's kind of like a satin finish already. But I feel like layering this shade on top adds like an extra level of dimension. I actually have a lot of pet peeves that I don't really talk about because a lot of them are just first world problems and I kind of just like deal with it. One of them is that when people use the word of, whenever like they do each step of their makeup and they're explaining it, they have to give you a reason why they're putting there. For example, if they put like I just did, like, oh, I'm gonna put this here, this will add something, whatever effect. And it's like every step has to have some kind of effect when really, I don't know, I just think it's not like super annoying, it's just, I don't know. Again, it's just a first world problem, that's why I don't really talk about that. I'm gonna take the same colors, like the two dark colors here, and put it here for kind of like halo eye effect. Oh my, I just fucking did it. But I think in this case, it's alright. Because I'm really adding some kind of effect to my eye, so. I'm gonna put some in the corner and kind of blend it out towards this way. And run a little bit on the lash line. Can you see the difference? I don't think you can see the difference in the camera. I feel like you can never see it. You can never see my true self. I was trying to think of a story that I could tell during this get ready with me, but I'm not coming up with anything. I talked to Artie, I mean, I could talk about it here on my video. I talked about it on Snapchat, but I feel really weird. You know those people that they tell you a joke and then you witness them telling the same joke to another person, like maybe at a later time, and I feel a little awkward in that sort of situation. So same thing with this. I talked about it on Instagram, on Insta story, but I know not everyone follows me on there or doesn't have Instagram. But you know what? I'm just gonna tell it. At Coax at A-Land, I didn't run into, let's say, I just like passed by him. That one member from 101, Tehui. I was saying that I didn't really think it was him at first because there weren't that many people with him. It was just his one manager and like a bunch of like school kids, which I guess were his classmates maybe. I was like, oh my god, it looks like him, but it can't be him because he's out here with not that much security. And we know what their fans are, you know, how their fans are. And I feel like it wouldn't be safe for them to just be out here or out there like that, like in the public. His face is so damn glossy. His skin is smooth. It might have been like, he might have had an oily face at the time because it was in the evening. Well, I don't care. He was glowing. And that's the thing with idols. In person, they can look totally different from, not different, but like, the perception's a little bit different when you see them in person. Because when I saw him on Produce 101, I thought he was cute, obviously. But I thought he was pretty average. But seeing him in person, I think it's mostly just like the aura, I guess. More so, not even just, because before I realized it was him from 101, the first thing I thought was like, oh my god, that guy's like, I don't know who he is or what he wants, but he is glowing. He has like, not just his face, like literally, but like there's an aura about him, right? And I think it also has to do with like the clothes that he was wearing. But yeah, because there are a lot of idols as well that, you know, on stage it's like, oh my god, yes, but then when you meet them in person, they're kind of just like minus eye makeup, just like this, you know what I mean? I love the way that styling, makeup, fashion and hair can like change the way a person, like you can change it depending on your mood of that day, and like, you almost like the way you change your clothes, you can like, dress up your face, or I don't know where I'm trying to go with this. But yeah, that's why I enjoy doing makeup so much. I just think it's really fun. There are two kind of shimmery, glittery top coat shades in here. This one is literally like it doesn't come off at all. It will stick to your finger, but can you see that? I don't think you can even see that. Girl, when you try to use this with a brush, even with, as you saw with my finger, nothing comes off, nothing. So I have to use, I can really only just use this shade right here. And even then, this one isn't that strong either. And then try to build some, no. Use my finger. Oh my god, nothing is coming off. Can you see that? It's kind of cute for the inner corner, I guess. That gold wasn't working out for me, so I'm gonna use this Nakeup face one right here. It doesn't really register as like its own separate shadow. It almost looks like it's just a shine that the red eyeshadow has. So that's the effect that I'm like kind of trying to go for. Now before I move on to eyeliner and mascara, I'm gonna one last time go into this last shade right here with this really small packed detail brush. And I'm gonna kind of pre-line my eyes here. Okay, now I'm gonna use eyeliner. This is Skinfood. This is one of the One For Eye. This is another one of those things where I made like 2 videos on it, but I hated the footage, so I have to re-record it. But this is an eyeshadow. This thing right here is like an eyeshadow product that's meant for monolids, and I just thought the concept of it was really cool because sometimes monolid eyeshadow can be really difficult, but this is like a really basic, easy way to kind of add a lot of definition and depth to monolids. I obviously don't have monolids, but I really like the gel liner. That is so damn smooth. In case whatever is left to kind of extend my inner corner. And of course I have to use my ink color Cara from Peripera in the red shade that I have. This is like Black Rose, I think it's called. It's almost like, you know, brown mascara, but this has like a red undertone to it. So I like using it for looks like this because it's pretty subtle in a way, but it adds this sort of like moodiness to the lashes. Okay, before I do my brows, I'm going to work on my face now. I bought a lot of new stuff from Aritaum. Alright, now I'm gonna work on my face. The other day there was a 30% off sale at Aritaum if you spent over $30, so I went there and Aritaum has a lot of really good stuff that are actually relatively inexpensive. They have a full cover line, which you might have heard me and Joe talk about a few times. I always use their concealer, the one that looks like this. This is the color correcting version. So I'm gonna try these out today. I'm gonna put on light layer foundation. There was a BB cream. I haven't heard the word BB cream in so long. There's a BB cream and then there's a foundation. But I've been really into like really thin bases lately, putting on only just a little bit of foundation because I really don't. My skin's improved a lot. Some people might think otherwise, but compared to a few years ago, and you followed me for that long, you know. But I still might have a little bit of acne scarring, but like in terms of like spots and stuff, a lot of it has dissipated. So I think I can get away with like way less product, which I really could have been doing for a while, but I love that coverage. But I've been trying it. My friend has been trying to convince me to like thin out my foundation because in general, having this, if you can get as little foundation on your skin as possible, it will end up looking better throughout the day. Let's go in with the full cover because I want to see how this works on me. And there's only Aritaum, like Skinfood, is one of those brands that the foundations only come in like 2 colors. And this one I think might be a little bit too light for me, but it is quite yellow, which is good. And I think it will suit this look well. I think it will really help like the eyeshadow pop. Oh, I remember at DDP, at the meet and greet, there was a group of like Korean girls that were like, what's going on here? What's this event? Because we were all like up against the wall taking pictures with viewers and stuff, which is really fun. So one of the Korean girls came up to me and was like, I'm sorry, who are you? I was like, I'm Edward, I'm a YouTuber. She's like, ah. And later on, as time passed by, she was in the line for me as well. And I was like, hi again. She's like, oh, 구독했어요. Which is, oh, I subscribed. I was like, oh, thank you. And like her whole group of friends wanted to take photos with me, which I thought was really funny. Half of me was like, oh my god, this is the idol life. Just kidding. But the other half of me, which was a good chunk of it, was like, honey, if they like start watching my videos to see who I really am, honey, they're barking up the wrong tree. So this is supposed to be a full cover foundation, but I feel like it's just light medium, and I feel like it's literally just making my skin lighter, which is would be okay if the coverage is like amazing. I mean, I can still work with this. I'm using a separate concealer to really give me coverage, so it should be okay, but I don't feel like, if you have good skin, I think this would be good. But for me, I need a little something extra. But I can appreciate the kind of natural finish it has on the skin. Oh, I have this spot here. You know when you get like a breakout? You feel like you have no breakouts, right? You feel so good about it, but then you get a breakout. It's just one, right? It's just one spot. But it's the kind of spot that's really painful. So because it's kind of like painful when you touch it, that one spot feels like, oh my god, my entire face, I'm breaking out, what's going on? I need to check my diet. What am I consuming? So yesterday I couldn't take it anymore and I kind of just like popped it, which I'm gonna probably regret later. And to add to the center of my face to give me slightly more coverage here, actually no, you know what? Before that, I'm gonna go in with the color corrector. I think it would make more sense. This is the full cover cream concealer in number 2. Number 1 is just the regular skin tone concealers, and number 2 is the color corrector ones. I'm gonna go into the salmon shade. And this is really pigmented and really creamy, so I like it. This one I actually tried already. Oh my, you know, I should have fucking used this before. I did, I think. That is, it's very salmony. It's very salmony. So definitely use this before your foundation. I'm kind of doing everything out of order. And then I'm gonna use the green to kind of go on my nose. Now this is a really strange green, right? But I think it's pretty ingenious because it's basically like a green color corrector that they injected some skin tone shade into, because a lot of color correctors are very green. Like they're really minty, icy green. So I think it's pretty smart that they made this color corrector more like a skin tone shade. That way it blends into foundation more that way. Because if you use like a color corrector, right, and then you put maybe a light foundation on top, because if you color correct, you're supposed to be able to conceal the issues prior to the foundation to some degree. Some of them are so green though that they'll peek through the foundation and you look green under the foundation. But I think it's pretty smart that they made this slightly more on the skin tone shade side. Oh god, they covered that up perfectly. A lot of concealers can't do that. You see this? Wow. It's looking a little green though on there. It's okay. Now to add some brightness to the center and conceal just a little bit more, I'm going to use the All Day Spots cover. I think this is supposed to be like a dupe for the Shiseido spot something cover. It's a foundation, but it's one of those ones that are so thick and creamy that you only need a tiny bit and you can put all over your face. You're supposed to get like really good coverage. But this is a little bit more malleable and a little bit more soft. So I only want to use a little bit, because if I use too much, it will just like sit on top of the skin and it will quickly just come off after a few hours. So I'm gonna dip this brush in here. Like just, you can already see the surface, like I just like touch it and it like does that. Here, just a little. They ran out of number, this is number 1. They ran out of number 2. So I can really only just use this in the center of my face. I don't know if I can use it like to spot conceal outside of the center of my face. I've been so into this brush lately, I can't stop. Can't stop. After I was just on my tangent with my S-Bar silicone puff thing. Sometimes I do worry when I use a brush like this though that it will just move the foundation around, because sometimes it will do that depending on the type of foundation and concealer I'm using. It will like slide the foundation around, but luckily this one seems like it's staying in place even with this brush. Alright, so I'm liking where we are now. I'm gonna add some shading to the outside parts of my face, because I just feel like I need it. Because the foundation is quite light, so I do want to add a little bit of definition and like warming up just outside. So I'm using this other Aritaum product, Magic Contouring. This is the cream version. I used to use the powder version, which is really nice. But I think prior to powdering, I think this would be a great base. Any like contouring that you do later. Starting with the darker color. I'm gonna here. Cutting off that part of my jaw right here, like from the chin right here up to my ear, and then on the bump of my cheek right here, put it right there. So lean straight on, it kind of cuts it like down this way a little bit, and kind of whatever's left just, oh my god, it looks like a toothbrush. I'm using the second shade, kind of just blending it out. But the two colors don't seem that different to me. They look pretty similar. It's quite subtle, and I'm sure you can build this up, but I like the subtleness of it right now. So I'm just gonna blend it with my foundation brush just a little bit. And now I'm gonna powder my whole face to set everything because I use a lot of liquids and creams. Still the same old multi-finish powder from Skinfood. Okay. I'm glad the sun is going away from this side. Next up is my brows. Makeup Forever. I've had this for so many years and I'm trying to finish it. But you need such little product that I don't think I'm ever gonna finish it in this lifetime, honestly. So if and when I die, giveaway! This is another, I was running out of the pony effect brow stuff that I use like every single video, so I picked the one up from Aritaum and I actually like this a lot. Aritaum Idol Brow Mascara number 3 Ash Brown. And I think this is pretty nice for my hair. And it immediately, because with the pony effect one, I had to like use the customizing one and then use the light brown one to like conceal the color of my brow, my natural brow hair. With this one, it's just, I just layer this on. And it immediately just like recolors my hair, my brow hair, which is nice. All right, now I'm gonna contour my nose because I really want, because with all this, like my face is so even now that my nose kind of gets lost. So I've been contouring my nose a lot actually, quite harshly, but I think the end result makes it look very refined and all that. So I'm using my Anastasia one, this Dusk, I think it's called Dusk. Yeah, it's called Dusk, and I'm using this e.l.f. This is amazing for nose contouring because it's just the right size for the nose. It makes it super quick and easy to get that line. I dip in and I blend it off on the back of my hand because I really don't need too much. It's still gonna be harsh, but I want it to be just the right amount so I get the effect that I want, but it's easy to blend out. I don't want it to be so harsh that I can't blend it off. So I make a line literally like that. I blend it out a little bit with this brush, but to really like make it look natural, I'm using a powder foundation. I'm kind of just blending. I'm also kind of patting it, so it's almost like I'm putting it on top of the contour, and because it's a powder foundation, it kind of becomes what it like creates the illusion of that a shadow, basically, because I'm putting that skin tone on top of that really dark contour. I'm gonna use the same powder foundation but slightly lighter, and I'm gonna use it to blend my cheek color onto like my nose color, so that way it really adds to that illusion of like a slimmer nose. And also I'm gonna use some under my eye right here to clean that up and to conceal my dark circle a little bit. I really feel like this step gives it that sort of like anime vibe, I suppose. I don't know why, but only having like that color on the outside really just, I fucking love it. Now for my lips, I'm going to Vampy Vibes once again. As a base color, I'm going to use the Pony Effect Due Respect, I think. Yeah, Due Respect. Favorite fluid lip tint, and kind of like a transition color does on the eyeshadow. This will act like a transition color for the dark tints that I'm going to use after. That itself is so pretty, isn't it? It just sucks that it doesn't last that long. I literally have to reapply this like after an hour, or if I like even bite or lick my lips. And then this is the Dear Darling tint from Etude House. I got this in a pack from Glam, so thank you Glam. They sent like this Best of Beauty 2017, I think, like a box, and in it there were a bunch of Etude House Dear Darling tint. I think all the colors were in there, but this color is amazing. It's like that really deep, dark blood red color. You can layer it up to make it that color, but I'm only gonna put a little bit. Oh, bitch. I love that, I love that. This is a lot of makeup, but I think with the outfit and everything, it will all like come together. So I'm gonna change into my outfit and I'll be right back. There we go, there's the finished look. I think with everything together, it looks more in sync, I guess. And of course, all the products I use will be down below. So yeah, see you. And also all the Ryans say bye. 안녕.
Betty, please, you come.
I wish I could.